United Nations peacekeeping missions are a very daunting task. They have to get together the warring countries to walk on a difficult path of peace. To talk on this important subject, I have United Nations Under Secretary General for Operations, Mr. Jean Pierre Lacroix. Sir, welcome to the podcast, sir.
It's very good to be with you.
You are attending this UN Chiefs Conclave on TCCs, that is Troop Contributing Countries, sir. How do you feel such conclaves further the agenda of the mission of keeping peace and international security, sir?
I think the conclave is a very good and very timely initiative, and I'm really grateful for India for having taken this initiative. Why is it so important to bring all the chiefs of armies at this particular juncture to talk about peacekeeping? Because, first of all, we need to emphasize the importance of the role of our peacekeepers. They are protecting hundreds of thousands of civilians every single day. They are preventing hostilities from resuming. They do all kinds of very valuable things in the service of peace, and at the same time, we face a number of challenges. So it was very important that we get together to discuss how we can jointly overcome these challenges.
In fact, I was to ask you a question directly on that, but you have answered it very well, sir. So as a follow-on and to continue with that, sir, how would you tell our viewers that this is the most cost-effective means with the international community to maintain peace, harmony and security worldwide, sir?
I think there are a couple of words there that are important. The total budget of peacekeeping operation today around the world, we have 11 peacekeeping operations at the UN, is less than 0.5% of total defense spending in the world. It's actually closer to 0.3 or 0.2. And at the same time, the men and women who serve under the UN flag, the peacekeepers, they play a critical role. What is this critical role? It's essentially about making sure that civilian population in conflict situations are protected. It's about making sure that volatile situations do not turn into completely chaotic situations. Why is it important? If you preserve peace, even if it's a fragile peace, then you give a chance to peace efforts. If you cannot preserve peace in this volatile environment, there is no chance that any political efforts can proceed.
So absolutely, you spoke about the budget, and as compared to various defense budgets, it's very, very minuscule. But at the same time, there have been some cuts in the funding. So do you think that it is going to impact the operational aspects of the peacekeeping missions worldwide, sir?
Yes, we have to proceed with some saving measures, because not all contribution to peacekeeping, that is a financial contribution to peacekeeping, are paid in time, on time or in full. And as a result of that, we have to reduce expenditures by about 15%. It will have an impact on our ability, on the peacekeepers' ability to deliver on their mandate. It will have an impact on all of our mission. It will have an impact on the troop and police contributing countries. So we have to do a number of things. One is joint advocacy to make sure that all contributions are paid to peacekeeping. It's a question of coherence, because the mandates of our peacekeeping operations are decided by member states. So it's only coherent that those same member states, all of them, would pay on time and in full. Second, we need to adapt to the evolution of technologies, to the evolution of warfare, the emerging drivers of conflict, and at the same time, we need to be more cost effective, because in any case, we know that resources will be limited. And I believe that this conclave is the ideal venue to discuss how we can adapt, how we can become even more effective in peacekeeping, and at the same time, how we can do this while being more cost effective.
So as Under Secretary General at the United Nations to do with peacekeeping missions and operations, sir, you mentioned about some of the challenges, and I'm sure there are very many challenges to the UN peacekeeping missions worldwide. So how are you planning to or how do you address these challenges sitting at the headquarters there, sir?
Okay. Well, the challenges are of different natures. First of all, we have a more divided international community, and that is affecting our ability to work, because every peacekeeping mission is created to support political efforts. It's essentially created to create an environment where parties to a conflict can get together and discuss, how to reach peace. But that requires, for that to succeed, a more united international community. Now, in addition to that, the peacekeeping environment in which we operate has evolved, and we are faced with drivers of conflict such as the impact of climate change, transnational criminal activity, global terrorism, the impact of new technologies, particularly mis and disinformation, but also new forms of threats against the people and the peacekeepers. How do we adapt to that? First, we need to make sure that we are not left behind the curve in terms of using new technologies, changing the way we do things in a way that will make us more flexible, more adaptable. Work on the mandate also. We need our member states to understand that we have to have clear and prioritized mandates. And I believe that beyond peacekeeping, there has to be a collective work to better address the drivers of conflict that I mentioned. I would just take one example. International, transnational criminal activities are a major factor of conflict. How do we address better this phenomenon?
There are many naysayers to UN peacekeeping missions, and you know that. So what is your message to those who say not so good about UN peacekeeping missions?
I think one of the key things that we hear about peacekeeping is, some of these missions have been around for 40 years, 50 years, and it means that they're a failure. To which I say, those peacekeeping missions, if you remove them today, you will turn volatile situation into a complete chaotic situation. Let us not forget that peacekeepers play an indispensable role in preserving the resumption of hostilities, monitoring ceasefire, protecting civilians. Now, achieving peace, achieving agreement, and the implementation of this agreement between conflicting parties, that is something that peacekeepers can support, but that is not something that peacekeepers can achieve alone. It needs a much stronger and united effort by international partners, member states, regional, sub-regional organizations, influential stakeholders. This is why we request more unity and more commitment in support to peace efforts.
And so finally, what is the future of UN peacekeeping missions? How do you look at the future, days ahead, decades ahead?
I think the future is about how we remain ready to first adapt the existing peacekeeping operation, and then second, be ready for whatever new mandate, whatever new request we may have from our member states, from the Security Council of the United Nations. We don't know what the future will lie in terms of whether there will be this or that model of peace operation. I think we have experimented already a variety of models of peacekeeping, a variety of partnership, a combination of stakeholders. The UN has been very adaptable with the support of member states. India has played a very critical role from that point of view. So the question is readiness. How do we make sure that the system, what I call the family of peacekeeping, the member states, the troop contributing country, the UN Secretariat, all of us will remain ready. And this is why, once again, this platform, the Conclave, plays a critical role, because we will only achieve these objectives through collective work.
So thank you for your candid replies to very important questions to do with UN peacekeeping missions all across, sir, and wish you all the very best and a lovely stay at Delhi. So this was United Nations Under Secretary General for Operations, Jean Pierre Lacroix.